Welcome to DWBIADDA channel. Please subscribe for latest training videos.
Welcome back to our Jenkins tutorial. Okay, so this is our second video from second part of our Docker integration with Jenkins video. Okay, so in a previous lecture we have installed and configured Docker into our Jenkins server. If you recall that, let me go back to our Jenkins server. Here it is. Okay, now if I do Docker ps-a, this is the command to check if there is any container which is either in stop or running state is available or not. Okay, so we can see that okay, we have no container either in start or in running state. Okay, now if we try to see Docker images, and we can see like one MySQL uh, Docker image which we have downloaded earlier in our previous lecture. Okay, so it is quite an heavy inside, so let me quickly delete this because we don't need it. RMI, this is the command to delete the Docker image, and ID, and here we go. Okay, let me again. Yes, now everything is empty. Okay, now if we go back in here, okay, now without wasting any time, let me quickly create one job. Okay, let me name it Docker, or I'll give it Maven Docker. Okay, and it would be a pipeline. Okay, okay, so we'll be using a pipeline script. Okay, so let me type my command in here. So here is a command. Okay, now if you read it thoroughly and with a bit of concentration, you will realize that okay, this is the same script which we have run earlier in our Maven project. Okay, where we are archiving our Maven war file in a post build action. Okay, if you're not, let me show you. Let me apply it first, and let me go back and go to this and go to configure. See, every command is same. Okay, so what's the difference? I'll show you the difference. Now what we're gonna do, we're gonna add a new command which is sh. Okay, which since this is Jenkins is installed on a Linux machine, we'll use sh. Okay, so space, and here we're gonna write the command to build a Docker image. Okay, but before going to that, let me show you how to write a Docker file. Okay, so this is my GitHub repo, and here I have placed my Docker file. Let me open it. So this is our Docker file. Okay, here I have written from and chosen the Tomcat 8.0. This is our base image. Okay, on which we'll be configuring our container. Okay, and here I have added add command, in which what we are doing, we are just copying all the war file that are being generated in our web app.target in our host machine. Okay, to the user local Tomcat web app location. Okay, and this is the location which is in the Docker container. Okay, so simply what we are doing, we are just copying the war file which we'll be creating from this command. Okay, this command. From this command we'll be generating a war file in the host machine, and that war file will be copying it to the container user local Tomcat web app. And then since it's a Tomcat server, so we'll be exposing port 8080 on the machine. Okay, so don't worry, we'll be mapping this 8080 to a different port on our Jenkins server. I'll show you how. So our Docker file is in our Git repo. So this is how we will be building this Docker image. We'll type Docker build -t and then give it a name. Okay, what name? I'll give Maven image and dot to notify that yeah, the Docker file which we are trying to build is in the current directory. Okay, and now we'll be having one Docker image with this name built in our host machine. Now our next step will be to run a Docker container using this image. Okay, let me show you how. I'll type sh. Okay, now I'll type docker run -d. It is for running starting a container, running a container in the detached mode, and then -name, as then option obviously suggests that we'll be providing a name, and the name would be my container. Okay, and now -p is for mapping the port. I'll type 9000 colon 8080. Okay, so here what I'm saying is I'm saying that yeah, I have export port 8080 on the Docker container, but I'm mapping this to 9000 to that of the host machine. So we'll be able to access our Maven project which is running on Docker container on port 9000. Okay, and at the last, what we need to do, we need to provide the image name. Okay, image name would be this. I'll save a nanosecond and I'll copy paste this Maven image. Yes, that's it. We are good to go. Let me save this and I'm gonna build it. And okay, so a build has been scheduled. So hopefully we'll be getting an error, which is a very obvious. Okay, so let's wait for a while. Okay, now you can see it is pulling. Okay, it is pulling the Docker image. Okay, and success. Great. So the error which I was hoping that we would be getting is that maybe I was hoping that okay, Jenkins might not be able to access the Docker, maybe a permission issue. Sometime it happens. So if it happens, you need to provide the Jenkins, or you need to add Docker under a Jenkins user or a Jenkins group. Okay, now let me go back and let's see if I'm able to access it or not. So if I move my recording screen to here, so our server IP is this. Okay, and hopefully we should be able to run this. Oops. And if I paste the IP and add 9000. Awesome. Okay, so our Apache has been deployed to a Docker container. Okay, this is running on a Docker container. Now let's see if our war file has been deployed. Web app. Yes, hello world. Our war file is also deployed to a Docker container. Okay, Pretty cool, right? So let me show you. So this is our Jenkins server. Now if I type docker ps, or first of all let me type docker images. Yes, you can see a docker. Let me do this. Okay, now you can see that, okay, our maven image has been created 3 minutes ago. Now if I do docker ps to see a running container, yes, we can see a container. My container is running on port 9000. I have to increase my shell again. Okay, 9000, and it is been mapped to 8080. Okay, and this is our container name, my container. Okay, and the image which has been used in maven image. So pretty good. I hope you get to know how we can build a docker container using Jenkins. So yeah, and if you want to enter into this container, I'll give you a command docker. You can type docker exec -it. This is for interactive shell, and the container name. Okay, you can just press my tab, and then so currently now we are in our docker container. Okay, pretty cool. Yeah, right. So if we go to our web app, and yes, we can see a war file has been deployed successfully to our docker container. Yes, so this is all we have for this lecture. Hopefully you get to understand how we can configure a docker container, or docker image, and how we can deploy a maven application to a docker container using Jenkins with few commands. Okay, so thank you so much for this lecture. We'll see you in the next one.